Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. I am Robinson Miles. Sorry to disappoint that, for one, it's just me, but also that it is me at all, because we are going to be doing this now. Those of you that have checked in with us earlier this week have noticed usually we would start with weather, but going forward we are going to be starting with news. So double sorry, it's news, and sorry in addition to that because Jamie's not here. She is off adventuring, and so you are just stuck with me again. Sorry. But we do have a lot happening today on this most wonderful of Fridays, so let's just go ahead and jump in. We've got a big update for Evansville drivers. First off, those of you who regularly drive on Riverside Drive will be happy about this one. Take a look. Evansville Water and Sewer Department officials say you will soon be able to drive on Riverside again, and they have this slated for Monday. Now, they plan to open one lane in each direction by mid-morning. Now, of course, the road was shut down in April at Chestnut Street. This was after a massive sinkhole opened up in February. Now, no word yet on exactly when they plan to fully open the road, but of course, after all the time away, I know everyone's just going to be excited to have it back in any form at all. So moving on to our next headline here. This one's coming out of Union County. Now, anyone who was a teenager at any point would know that it's fun to do annoying things, but as for anyone who grew up around teenagers knows, there are often consequences to those things. Now, the sheriff in Union County has a warning for teens playing this popular senior assassin game. Now, the game involves players attempting to eliminate their peers with water guns. The sheriff says some, of course, have taken the innocent game a little bit too far. He has had reports of teens entering others' homes and vehicles, speeding, driving recklessly. In a Facebook post, the sheriff encouraged all parents to talk to their kids about as you can expect, have fun, but be safe. Don't run into people's houses. They don't like it. Well, moving on to our final headline. See, I'm speedy. You don't have to be that sad that I'm here. We are moving on to Warwick County, where the Boonville City Square is changing a little bit. A couple buildings have been demolished from that Boonville Square. Now, the buildings once housed Stoner's Grill and Sassafrass's Warehouse on 3rd Street. According to a social media post from them, the warehouse also had apartments with tenants. Now, Stoner's Grill has been closed since May after they say demo work next to them caused a partial collapse at their building. Now, Leslie Chapman talked with the mayor about the demolition, and we'll have more information from her tonight at 4, 5, and 6. See, you can't even be mad at me. I'm already done. So I'm going to go ahead and throw things over to our beloved Arden Gregory, who is here with more information about this gloomy day that we have had today and how things are going to be looking just a little bit different when we get into the weekend.
Stay informed on your local news and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app. On your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app. And stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices.
Whoops. Okay, there we go. We're still getting used to switching things this direction. I'm used to starting, but like Rob said, we're switching things up, trying something a little different here for you folks. Get those news headlines out of the way quick so that we have no rush in talking about the weather and we can chit-chat about it. If you have any questions along the way, I do keep an eye on the comments on the Facebook video. I know we've already got one question in there from Tina, but let's go through some of the forecast first and then see if any questions come up as we go along, as we go through another dreary day. It has been just a dreary week, right? We had thunderstorms on Tuesday, then clouds and fog Wednesday. This rain started yesterday and has been with us on and off ever since, and we still have some lingering rain chances out there on into tonight. However, there is change on the way. We're finally going to see the sun again this weekend, at least briefly. We do have more rain on the way Monday and Tuesday though. So for today, we've been tracking scattered showers, especially through the morning hours today, but those pushed off to the northeast, and you'll notice the bulk of the rain has actually moved out of the tri-state now. So it was kind of a rainy, dreary morning, but right around lunchtime, that rain really started to push out. We do still have some isolated showers. You can see that spot of rain there right along the Davis-McLean County line. A little more rain up around Edwards and Wabash counties in Illinois, but most of the tri-state is dry. It's still cloudy, kind of foggy, just dreary and damp, but it's not actively raining across most of the tri-state. Now, as we go through the rest of this afternoon and evening, that could still change. There is another more isolated chance that a few more showers or maybe even a brief thunderstorm could still pop up this evening and into the night tonight. So many of us may be done with the rain, but at least a few folks are still going to get one more round of showers, maybe even a thunderstorm later this evening and into the first part of the night as a cold front swings through the tri-state. That rain will then push off to the east-southeast as we go through the second half of the night, and by Saturday it will still be cloudy but dry, and then those clouds will gradually clear throughout the day Saturday. You'll also notice a change in our wind direction, so Saturday will be a little bit on the cooler side, but we've got changes on the way again as we get into next week. So while we've still got some scattered rain out there today, we are dry through the weekend. Then the rain chances pick back up Monday and Tuesday, and behind that, we'll see a drop in our temperatures for Thanksgiving. So let's talk about that system. I think the clouds will move in Sunday night. By Monday morning, it'll be mostly cloudy, but most likely dry. Then the rain pushes in Monday afternoon and evening. Rain is then likely overnight Monday night into early Tuesday morning. So it looks like the bulk of this rain will fall overnight, but there is still a chance of rain during the latter half of the day Monday, and then especially into the beginning of the day on Tuesday. As this cold front swings through the region and pushes off to the east, it takes the rain with it. So by Wednesday, we should dry back out, but notice the change in the wind direction behind that cold front. Cool, dry air will be filtering in from the north, and we will see a drop in our temperatures as we head toward Thanksgiving. So let's talk temperatures for a moment. Right now we're sitting anywhere in the upper 50s to low to mid 60s, just depending on your location and how much of that rain you've gotten today. We talked about that rain moving from southwest to northeast earlier this morning. So for those of you down to the southwest, that rain moved out pretty early in the day. You've had quite a bit of dry time, and so those temperatures are sitting in the low to mid 60s there. They're all the way up at 66 in Greenville right now. But as you head farther to the northeast, it's been a little wetter, a little cooler, and so many locations, especially as you get up around Mount Carmel, Oakland City, Huntingburg on the northern end of the tri-state, sitting in the upper 50s right now. Evansville caught right in the middle, sitting at 60 degrees even. Now, as we go through the rest of the evening, we may tack on another degree or two this afternoon. Then we gradually start to fall back through the 50s this evening and into the overnight hours. So it will be cool, but not terribly cold. Keep in mind, there is still that isolated chance of a few showers through this evening and into the night tonight. I know football season is winding down, but there are still a few high school football games going on. I know Owensboro's tree lighting ceremony is tonight. The rain chances are isolated, but there is still a chance. So if you're going to any of those things, I would encourage you to take your rain jacket just in case. By the end of the night, the rain tapers off. Temperatures will drop back into the upper 40s. Then tomorrow, lots of clouds in the morning, but I do think we'll see at least some sunshine by the afternoon. We will have winds from the north, so it will be on the cooler side with highs only reaching the upper 50s, even if we do get some sunshine tomorrow, maybe even a couple degrees cooler if those clouds are a bit more stubborn and really hang in there. Moving into the rest of the weekend, Sunday, really the best day of the weekend. Lots of sunshine on Sunday, highs in the low 60s. Get out and enjoy it because, as I mentioned, we do have rain moving back in on Monday. Monday will be mostly cloudy with showers moving in during the second half of the day. Rain is likely overnight Monday night, lingering into Tuesday morning. Then all of that starts to clear out, but we have this shift in our wind. So we'll have warm air flowing in from the south, putting us in the low to maybe even mid 60s to start next week. But then behind that cold front, we see this drop in our temperatures, and highs will probably only reach the mid 40s with kind of a mix of sun and clouds out there for Thanksgiving. Just for a little perspective, our normal highs this time of year are sitting in the low to mid 50s. So we are running a little warmer than average right now. Then we'll actually cool off to slightly below average as we get into the end of next week, including Thanksgiving. In the extended outlook, then we actually start to see this shift. So we did have this warmer than average weather, then cooler than average weather, and then in the extended outlook from Saturday, November 29th up through the first few days of December, it does show that we're sort of caught in between, and our temperatures may sort of average out to pretty close to normal for this time of year, but we are expecting above average precipitation. And specifically, I want to highlight that the tri-state is outlooked for heavy rain from Sunday, November 3rd to Sunday, November 30th, I should say, to Wednesday, December 3rd. So that is something we will be looking at and keeping a close eye on. We should get through Thanksgiving weekend just fine, but early in the next week, we may have a weather system coming in that could potentially bring us some heavy rain. But again, that's something that's a week and a half away. So it's way too early to talk details, but it's just something I wanted to put on your radar, no pun intended, and just know that we're keeping an eye on it, let you know that. There is a risk of heavy snow farther north, so be aware of that if you are traveling in the days following Thanksgiving. There may be some snow up that way. All right, let's check in on the comments here. We have, just missed it. Good afternoon, Zach. Thank you for commenting, as always. Tina asking if we'll get single digits in December. Now, I'm not going to necessarily say no because we're not in December yet. I only forecast a week or two at a time. I don't know what the rest of December has in store for us, but I will tell you this. We usually only get one, maybe two really good cold snaps a winter that end up dipping us into the single digits. But we do usually get at least one. Could that happen in December? Sure, that's possible, but I'm not forecasting one right now. I just showed you sort of the outlook all the way up into the first few days of December, and I'm not seeing any kind of extreme cold snap in the forecast that would result in us dipping into the single digits. It's going to be cold out there on Thanksgiving. I mean, we're talking about temperatures down below freezing Wednesday night and Thursday night, but it's not going to be single digits cold. And I'm just really not expecting that anytime soon. But we are, soon going to be in December. We get into those winter months. We do start to see more of those cold snaps and wintry weather systems. And sometimes, especially if we get some snow that keeps you a little colder, we may get into the single digits. That is possible. But as of right now, I'm not seeing anything that would indicate that's happening anytime soon. So that's the best answer I can give you right now. We just honestly don't know for sure what December has in store, but I am not right now seeing any indication that December would be abnormally cold in some way. But we're still in November, so who knows what December has in store. But right now, sometimes I get these questions because you've seen something somewhere else. If you're following a social media page somewhere that is declaring that they're, forecasting a month in advance that we're going to have some kind of extreme cold snap, coldest Christmas on record or something crazy like that, just know that you should always take that kind of stuff with a grain of salt. I'm glad that you're asking about it here to get some clarification. But just so you know, those guys make money off of how many people click and comment on that post. So they'll do anything to stir the pot. So just keep that in mind when you see posts like that from people who make a living on their social media pages. They are going to post whatever they can to get as much engagement as possible because that's how they're paying their bills. So, you know, can't fault them for that, but take that information with a big old grain of salt, okay? I am not seeing anything that would indicate some kind of extreme cold snap in December. It'll be December though, so it'll probably be cold. Single digits though feels like a stretch. All right, I'm on a rant and a ramble now. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Meteorologist Michael Fecca will be here for your First Alert streaming show tonight at 9. So if you have any other questions, I hope you'll join him then and ask those questions at 9 o'clock tonight. Wherever you're watching us now, you can catch us then as well. All right, everybody have a great weekend.